All right, good evening, residents, people in the viewing world. My name is Edward Steve, former trustee Edward Steve, and this is the first of a many of interviews that I'm going to be doing with the trustees. There's a lot of things going on in Dolton right now, as what you all see all over the news, all over YouTube. But there's an interesting perspective from the trustees' point of view that people need to hear. So I'm sitting here with senior trustee Jason House. How you doing today?
I'm doing good,
Doing
sir.
good,
How
doing
are you?
good?
Yeah.
Good. This is a quick interview. I want to start off with saying, the mayor always says, y'all flew here, she grew here. Talk about your growth in Dolton and where you come from.
Well, no, I grew up in Dolton. So I grew up on the west side, 146th and Wabash, and attended Roosevelt Junior High, graduated junior high school from 8th grade, transferred to, went to high school at Thornton. From there, went away to college and then came back, bought my first home in Dolton. Yeah. So I got over 30 years in Dolton, and I think the mayor just likes to look for catchy slogans that she can say in the meeting, but have no substance whatsoever.
No substance whatsoever. Yeah. I want to hit on this interview, talk about your financial background and your financial history.
Well,
in that industry.
In the industry, I got 15 years in banking and then another 10 years managing finances for different companies. So in total, over 25 years of experience in the financial industry. So that's kind of been, I guess, my niche.
Yeah.
And something that I feel like I can do well.
So, and when you were over the finance committee, you would get the financial report every month to the rest of the trustees of what's going on with the village every month.
Well, that's something I think we all worked on. You were on the finance committee, Trustee Tammy Brown, and one of the things that was important for all of us is that we worked with the finance department to get monthly financial reports and produced it to the residents too. So we have monthly meetings just talking about where we stand, things that we could do better, things that residents want to see. And we really went through it. So that way, by the time we hit the budget, we can go line by line with the community. We didn't rush the community, give them a time limit. We just came in there and we talked about it because that's what we recognize that residents deserve.
And so when this last election, of course, the trustees passed the ordinance that the trustees picked the finance. I mean, not the finance, the committees. Trustees picked the committee. So you would need a three or more majority vote to change that ordinance. Yes. But when this last election came past and Stan Brown and Andrew Holmes won, she didn't follow the ordinance. She put them over every committee. So she put Stan Brown right now as the finance committee chair, right?
Yes.
And keep in mind, residents or people who watch, Stan Brown is a former postman.
Federal forfeit you, $11. Sewer funds, $1,706.36. American Rescue Plan, $3,880.44. Melanie Fitness Center, $334.81 for a total corporate payment of $529,520.77.
Nothing against him as a brother or individual, but that's not his expertise. And since he's been in, right now, the last video you've seen when you talked about the $7 million deficit, that was the last time they got any financial reports. So they don't know what's going on with the finances in Dolton. And then the next thing was when that Tahoe video came out, the $150,000 Tahoe, what happened after that?
Well, every time that we put out information about what's going on and the delinquencies that's going on in town, we get our access gets limited. Trustee Belcher brings out the lease that talking about $150,000 for a Tahoe. Next thing you know, we go and apparently we had too much information, so our access was removed from my viewpoint, which is where we would go and get invoices and things that we would let the residents know about. That's also our way of verifying things that's on the warrant list, so that way we can make sure it's accurate. So no, they don't want us to know what's going on. Yeah. And I appreciate what you're saying. We say we don't have a clue about what it is because we're in the dark. I mean, but we actually get good indications from the community, and the indications are the vendors that keep calling us saying we haven't been paid. The vendors calling saying we're behind. What's the status of my payment? The residents that come up every meeting and say, I haven't gotten a $500 escrow check refunded to me. Why is it taking so long? So we don't have the specifics on there, but we know the finances aren't good, and that's a big concern.
Yeah. So one of the things that we want to put out in this interview is that they are threatening to repossess, yes, repossess police vehicles because of non-payment, which Trustee House brought up at the last board meeting. So talk about that email you got.
For State Bank, which is our police vehicles, the Durangos and the Fiats for Public Works. That bill was approved by the board May of 2023. We received an email stating that those cars will be repossessed if we do not get any payment.
Yeah, so I received an email January 31st from the leasing company. And I will read the email that I received because it was quite concerning. Yeah, so the email sent January 31st reads as follows. I will need a response by the end of this week, a payment being made on this past due account ending in 351. The payment is seriously past due and we will be making arrangements for repossessing all of the vehicles related to this lease. Your immediate attention to this matter is greatly appreciated. So that one is a payment the board already approved in May of 2023. We're talking 7 months that this has gone at $76,000 behind. And now we're coming up on it being 2 years delinquent because we're going to, in May, another payment is going to be due. So upon getting that information, I immediately forwarded it over to the village administrator, to the finance director, and I requested for a status. I asked them to follow up with the vendor directly and to keep the board updated. It was not an attempt to have another video to put out here, but of course, when we get into the boardroom and the meetings and they try to portray it like, well, everything's okay, and it's not.
Listen to the lie that the police chief said at the last meeting.
Go ahead, Lacey.
All right, Mayor, I just want to address something that Trustee House said in reference to the email that you got. So you say as far as vehicles being repossessed, there are no Dolton vehicles being repossessed. I know exactly who you're talking to. And guess what? It's been taken care of.
As of February 12th, the latest email received said, nothing on my end at this point this morning. Still waiting on payment and have not heard from the village.
And that's one of the reasons why we do these videos, because there's so much misinformation that's given out. It's lies. It's lies. And they never produce receipts. You know how you can tell people who are watching this video, anytime we put a video up, we show the actual emails, which you'll see this email. We prove what we're saying. So this is the current state of the finances, that the car's about to get repossessed. Cars repossessed, like there's reality shows about cars getting repossessed.
Yes.
But this is a village, this is $1 million budget, but the money is getting blown and spent more and more, and then they spin the narrative. The trustees are stopping this stuff. That's why you can't get this. No, they just don't have the money. You know?
Yes. Well, no, and it's the money's been spent on all the wrong things. Because the trustees did not approve a flight to Las Vegas. The trustees did not approve going to Selma, Alabama first class. They didn't approve going to New York first class.
No.
But you'll notice that they found ways to make that happen.
Yep.
But when it comes to things that the residents need, the cars to be paid, the lights to go up on people's for the street posts, then it's all of a sudden, oh, well, we can't pay this, and the trustees are stopping progress. It's all a lot of false stories that's just being put out there to try to gaslight the community.
Yeah. And y'all still don't have the credit card statements. When was the last time you got credit card statements?
We have not got a credit card statement since May of 2023.
I want to say, people who watch this video who may be in surrounding communities, other trustees or aldermen or any type of board, keep in mind, if you were on the board as a trustee or the board that oversees the finances, imagine if that president or that mayor didn't give you the receipts, didn't give you the financial reports. And we don't have to make this up, because if they had the financial reports or the credit card statements, we will put it out there for the city to see. And y'all will see how much spending is going on. And that's why that's why they hide it. That $150,000 Tahoe video and that proof I'm in the city sometimes. People say, man, that $150,000 Tahoe, what was she thinking?
And I'll take it a step further, because a lot of times we talk about the trustees and we didn't get the information. I always say, put the information out for the residents, the community. Everybody is entitled to know this information. So she doesn't have to send it to me. Put it on the website. And I could say for anybody else that's interested to get this information, try to do a Freedom of Information request. You're entitled to this information, and they will block that request as well to the community. So yes, she's stopping the board from getting that information, but most important, she's stopping the residents from knowing what our financial status is. And then they'll come into the next meeting and try to say, "Oh, we want to raise your taxes," but they won't show you where the money's being spent. That's not fair.
And they tried to raise the taxes the last, but we put a video out about that to let the residents know we don't have to make none of this stuff up. But she's running through cash, and then even with the fines, they did a news report on that.
I couldn't even tell you, man. It was a long day.
Yeah, I sat down, I stood up.
I've been in line for 2 hours.
They are all here after getting slapped with various citations all of a sudden by the city.
At first I thought it was $50. And then I had to put my glasses on.
Elizabeth Watson quickly saw an extra zero for a total sum of $500. And if she didn't stand in this line to appear in court,
After the 21st, I'll be on $1,000.
This administration has cost us a $5 million deficit. And now I believe that the mayor is trying to make up that deficit on the backs of the residents.
And now they're cutting water off when they were so hard against the last mayor for cutting water off.
Yes.
But they're cutting water off in the wintertime because they need the money.
Absolutely.
So it's unfortunate. We're going to continue to progress and continue to talk about these things. But I want to make it very clear that you have a financial background, but you're not over the finances of the village. That should tell you something right then and there. Anything else you want to say?
No, just appreciate all of those that follow, the well wishes that we get. And we're going to continue to push forward to do the best we can to serve this community we serve.
Yep. And we're going to continue to put videos out. Make sure you subscribe to our Dolton Trustee YouTube page. Keep going. And I'm going to continue to do these interviews with the trustees and hear all their stories, because Kiana Belcher has a story. Trustee Norwood has a story of growing here, going to school in here, buying homes here 10, 20, 30 years ago. Trustee Tammy Brown. So that narrative of someone flew here and nobody grew here is just false. So don't fall for the tricks. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
And we're going to keep on pushing.
All right.
Now, more than ever, we have to support Trustee Brown, Trustee Norwood, Trustee Belcher, and the senior trustee, Jason House. It is crucial to stand united and support the Board of Trustees in their fight for transparency and good government.